Hello, happy tax day. I think it's tax day. Happy April 15th. San Diego, California, the country, the world. Hope everybody's having a great day. And as you know, we didn't really have to have our taxes in today, which is kind of nice, even though this is the first year I think I've ever gotten mine done as quickly as I was supposed to. In fact, way ahead of time. So that was kind of nice. But it didn't do me any good because I could have delayed it all. Although I actually got a refund this year, which was kind of surprising, but very glad I did because given how everything is, I could have used that refund. All right, I'm a little close up here, so I'm sending you back a little bit. Sorry to get right up in your face. Anyway, hope you're doing great. I am going to be making some pan-seared and crusted Lincod tonight. This Lincod is actually from New Zealand, which is a great place to get fresh fish. I got it at Costco, but it came from New Zealand. So by way of New Zealand through Costco to here in my kitchen. So that's what we're having tonight. I bought it last week, and you know Costco, for those of you who shop there, you get a very, very, very big piece, and this was two very, very big pieces. So I basically took half of it and put it in one Ziploc and froze it, and put the other half in another Ziploc and froze it, because it's fish, you gotta eat it pretty quickly. So we are gonna have half of that fish tonight. And last week, or I think it might have been a little more than a week ago, I made cod with a turmeric ginger sauce that was incredible. I liked it a lot. In fact, I loved it. I would have made that tonight, but my son, who's 13, is wanting to eat cod too, and he didn't like that. It was just a little too spicy for him with the garlic and the ginger and the turmeric and all of that. But that was a really good recipe if anybody wants that recipe. Hey Janice, how you doing? I'm sure it's probably too late for you for dinner, but this is super easy to make. And you know, I don't usually even use a recipe for something like this. I usually just pan sear it in butter, salt, and pepper, and lemon. Super simple. Finish it off in the broiler if I want to put a crust on it. So that's basically what it is, but I found a recipe. I thought I'd follow along, and I can easily post this for people because most people like to have a recipe to follow rather than just listen and write things down. So we are going to give it a shot. And interestingly, or not interestingly, these pieces of cod, you know, it was very long fillet of cod, so some of them are quite thick and some of them are quite thin, which is definitely going to pose a little more of a challenge when cooking it. If I was just pan searing it, that wouldn't be such a big deal because I would just put them in at different times, not a problem. But this requires going into the oven afterwards and broiling. So we'll see. I think it'll be fine. Hey Monica, good to see you. I hope you're still in Texas, I think. So lockdown, I think everybody's pretty much in lockdown for the most part. Janice in Iowa, you're in lockdown. There's a couple of states I think that aren't on as severe a lockdown as we are, but whatever. Hopefully we're gonna come to an end in it soon. Our governor has not said exactly what's happening, but that they're implementing a plan with Oregon and Washington, which is great that they're kind of working together on that to start opening things up again. I don't imagine it will probably happen until at the very first, May 1st. At the very least, May 1st. Probably later though, but that's all right. The fair has been canceled. The 4 or 5 or 6 week long Del Mar Fair or San Diego Fair, and that doesn't even happen until mid-June or something like that, so that's not happening. So lots of big events aren't going to be happening. Okay, let's get back to the recipe and off the pandemic, okay? How about that? I'm just using a non-stick pan, but it is an oven-safe pan, so when I'm finished with this part of the prep, I will be able to put it under the broiler. If you have a plastic handled pan, that's not going to work. So just choose your pan wisely. You can transfer the fish into a baking vessel, which is what this recipe says to do, but I'm just going to use the pan. I think it's easier. Butter, I always use grass-fed butter. It's much higher in the things that make butter so good. I don't know if you can see my pan. There we go. Now I'll just have to get short again. Like my legs are spread out like this, but it's okay. I do some lunges while I'm here cooking with you. So grass-fed butter, you can also use ghee. I often use ghee, but I'm not cooking this at a very high temperature. Ghee is essentially clarified butter. It doesn't have the milk solids, so it doesn't burn very easily. So on these fillets, I'm just gonna put salt and pepper. Very simple, and I'm gonna put the fillets in at different times because of the thickness. The thickness is different. So salt and pepper on both sides. Some of these are super skinny. Must have been a skinny fish. 2 of them are fairly thick, so we'll just have to deal with that. And like I said, if it's not perfect, it's not perfect. It's still food, it's still gonna taste good. We'll still enjoy it. Be careful when you open the salt to not open the big part. I've done that. Just in case, probably a good idea putting your hand first. And I don't salt a lot of things very much, but I am gonna salt this. You definitely need a little salt on the fish. You're actually supposed to brine this fish first, and I did not do that because I don't think a fish should be brined. I will brine things like pork chops and sometimes chicken, but not fish. I think it's too delicate, and I don't think it's gonna work well. See, I still have to be short. You know, I'm gonna come around and fix that because I don't like to be quite that short. I think you're just angled down a little too much. Really what I need is a higher tripod. Okay, so yeah, brining fish, not my thing. Pork chops, chicken, that's about it. So I've just got 5 little pieces here. I'm gonna start by putting the bigger, thicker ones in here first into the butter. The butter smells so good. So yeah, grass-fed butter. This is Kerrygold, which is my go-to because that's what Costco carries. I prefer to buy New Zealand grass-fed butter. It's just very difficult to find here in the States, but that will hopefully change soon, and we will have a better quality butter to buy. And the reason it's higher quality, for lack of a better word, is that the cows there are grass-fed 365 days a year. They don't even have barns. So they're always outside, they're always eating the grass. If you haven't been to New Zealand, it's just this beautiful, lush, ridiculously amazing, pristine country. It's incredible. 2 islands, North Island, South Island, lots and lots of cows. And these cows are just constantly grazing. I mean, to be able to be pasture raised 365 days a year is amazing. Although they do have winter, obviously. It's much more mild than, say, an Irish winter. So that is why there's so much more grass to it. So you just put these, I would do them on a medium heat. You don't want to overdo them because it's going to be finished in the oven. And I'm going to start with the thicker pieces, and then I'll throw these skinny pieces on after that. Now in the meantime, what I'm going to be serving this with is a grain, ancient grains. It's just a combination of, let's see what we have in here, bulgur, brown rice, wheat berries, barley, red rice, oats, and quinoa. And it's really good. You can do it in chicken broth or vegetable broth. This time I just did a little salt and pepper and kind of a salt-free seasoning, so I'm doing it a little differently this time. And super easy. I just make it in the pressure cooker, so you throw it in there and you put it on for 12 minutes and it's done. Very simple. And then the topping that's going to go on here is breadcrumbs. This calls for 1.5 cups of breadcrumbs, so I just made my own breadcrumbs because I had some leftover sourdough bread that I made last week, and I'm making a new loaf tonight, so I have a little bit of that left over. Hello. Hi. My daughter just walked in. I would have her come say hi. You come say hi. You too, Sophia. The girls are in town. The girls are back. I don't know what that was. This is my daughter Carson, who is now officially taller than I am. She's 5'9", and this is her friend Sophia. She's the shortest, but she's not even 16 yet. Yes, and she's got these big flip-flop things on.
I have big flip-flop things.
Yeah, she's really happy that she's taller than me. I'm happy she's taller than me too. I just wish I was taller. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Good. How's the outside world?
I just drove on our route.
On your regular route through La Valencia and the farms and everything? Very nice. So I know you're supposed to just be with your family, but these girls have been together since day one, and they only go back and forth between their own respective houses. So don't report me to the police or anything. They need their people. So they've been their people since day one, and that's the way it is around here. Okay, so back to the breadcrumbs. I use some of my sourdough because I'm making new. So I just use the Cuisinart, which is right here, to process breadcrumbs. You can buy breadcrumbs in a panko or any kind of breadcrumbs. I just prefer to make my own. They're fresher, they're better. These in particular are sourdough. You guys need anything?
No, I'm making chocolate milk.
Oh, perfect. I'm making fish if you want some fish.
Nothing.
Or chili relleno casserole from last night.
I don't like fish.
I know you don't.
I don't like seafood.
You're missing out though.
I
It's really
like
good.
California roll.
California roll, well that's sort of fish. That's a little bit of
It's
crab.
imitation crab.
It's crab with a K in most cases. The good sushi places make it with real crab with a C, but usually it's those sea leg baked crab. Yucky.
Imitation crab.
Imitation crab. Okay, so you can hear this is popping. I'm not going to do anything with that yet because I think we still need a little more time because these pieces are pretty thick. And I'm going to put the skinny ones in there. Then we're going to cover it with the topping and go from there. I'll put a little more butter in when we get closer to putting those in. Okay, so back to the topping. The topping is fresh breadcrumbs and it is Parmesan cheese, which I'll put in right now. As usual, I buy a big bag of it from Costco. Makes it easier. Let's see, how much do we need in here? This calls for half a cup. So I'm just gonna eyeball that. Doesn't really matter. It's not an exact science. And then salt and pepper and lemon zest. So I'm gonna make a little bit of lemon zest here to put in there. And then you're also gonna put lemon juice on the fish itself. Lemon, pretty much a standard thing in fish. That smells really good. So this microplane grater is great for zesting lemons or for grating ginger, fresh ginger. And just put as much as you want, you know, it's just a nice little topping on there. This calls for, it doesn't even say how much, it just says zest some lemons on. I'm sure we're good here. Pepper.
Oh my god, that's weird.
And lemon pepper, but I don't have lemon pepper, so I'm just using lemon and pepper. Because, why not? And I don't think this is going to need salt because there's salt on the fish. Okay, I'm going to put these guys in now. The skinny guys. A little more butter. Okay, I don't know if you can see this, but that looks really good. Those pieces are significantly thicker than these other ones. You don't want them to stick, so just use a little bit of a spatula to unstick them. Popcorn. Dinner of champions.
Yep. No, this is my like lunch.
It's your lunch.
Or
It's 6 o'clock.
my first dinner.
Your first meal of the day.
We went to bed early last night and we woke up early.
Early? Like early for you is what, 2 a.m.?
A little bit earlier.
Okay.
How many minutes am I supposed to keep this for?
Just when it stops popping, that's when you know. Like when it goes to about maybe a half a second between pops, that's when you want to open it. Because if you wait too long, it'll burn. It'll be disgusting.
Okay.
Okay? Just not worth it. So these girls are having fun, but it's quite an adjustment to do everything online, as I'm sure everybody knows out there, and you're dealing with it yourselves too, and your own kids. It's quite a challenge. You don't even have online classes though, right? You're just having assignments?
Yeah.
Yeah, Melvin has some classes at least, but
We don't have any.
that's crazy. I don't know why they're not just doing school online through
You can
Zoom.
like see them if you want to. You can like do like they
And
won't
but-
like
but
hours,
it's like-
but it's for like 45 minutes.
Yeah,
and
and
it's
it's
like just
it's
say
like
hi.
just like to like connect if you're lonely.
That's
No,
all?
my teacher's like, if you're bored of Netflix, feel free to stop by 12:30 to 1.
Those are office hours, virtual office hours?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, well, who knows? Okay, so now let's see if I'm forgetting something because I'm a little distracted. Combine breadcrumbs, Parmesan, lemon pepper, and lemon zest in a bowl. I did that. Now here's where it says transfer the fillets to a baking dish, which I'm not going to do. I'm just going to put this on there and then I'm going to put it into the oven and bake it. And then we'll make the sides. So I'm just going to place it on top of here. I'm going to press it in there a little bit. You can see that. And it's gonna make some little breadcrumbs around it that should taste really good. Because I'm gonna put this on top of the grains. And that little crustiness of the breadcrumbs and the cheese should be really good, actually. Kind of like a gratin, sort of. So yeah, this made plenty of breadcrumb, more than we need. Okay, I'm gonna put a little more butter in there. But this looks pretty good. I think you can go a little longer on it.
Really?
Yeah. You have a bowl?
No, I'm just gonna eat out of the thing.
Okay. And a little more pepper, because pepper is really good. Right, Carson?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what it looks like. And then lemon juice. Lemon juice. So my lemon's kind of funny because I took all the zest off of it. So just put the lemon juice right on top of there. Kind of all around it. And watch it when you squirt yourself in the eye. It's the hazards of cooking. It's the hazards of the cooking show.
Yeah, hormones, exactly.
It's not fake cooking. There you go. That looks pretty good. And then a little bit more butter on top. Just a little bit to let that breadcrumb mixture crisp up a little bit, because I'm going to put it. Now, the recipe says to put this in the oven at 400 for quite a long time. Like, yeah, 20 minutes. There's no way that I could do that. It would completely overcook the fish. So I don't know if they're talking about pieces of cod that are like extremely thick. That could be. This cod is not like that, so I'm not going to do that because it literally would ruin it. Okay, so that is what I'm going to put in the oven. So it's the pieces of the fish that are cooked a little bit on each side with the breadcrumb mixture on top, and I'm putting that directly into the oven, and the oven's on broil. Broil. Very important mistake I've made many times. Do not reach into that after the 5 minutes or so, whenever it's done, without a hot pad. Because, you know, you're just running around doing stuff and you just grab it with your hand and bad idea. You'll burn yourself, you will drop it all over the floor, you'll ruin your meal, you'll have to clean up your meal, and you'll burn the heck out of your hand. So I'm gonna put my handy dandy silicone dealibops on that so I don't forget that key thing. Okay, in the meantime, we are going to just make a very simple side dish of sauteed zucchini. More butter, sauteed zucchini, and orange pepper. Just butter, salt, zucchini, and I'm going to use this cutting board so it doesn't taste like fish. I love sauteed zucchini. It's a great side dish. I use it for all kinds of things. Where's my knife? Oh, right there. But just sauteed is probably my favorite way to do it. It's really good with eggs. It's really good with feta cheese. It's really good broiled. So just cut into whatever shape you like. Usually I just do rounds. And then we're gonna do the pepper too, but I won't put that in right away because that hardly takes any time. This is also good with a little bit of basil, but generally I don't put anything in there, especially when I'm doing it as a side dish with anything else except salt and pepper. So if you're using ghee, you're not gonna burn the butter because it's already clarified, so it's taking the milk solids out, which can't take the heat as much. And oftentimes I will use ghee. I just happen to grab the butter. I think the butter will be really good on the fish. Okay, so just about 1 1/4 zucchinis here. I think we're out of zucchini. That's the thing, I try to get everything in the store, but you know, when we're eating at home as much as we are going through a lot more of everything. A lot more of the greens, a lot more of the kale and the spinach, a lot more of the zucchini. So, hazards of cooking all the time. It's been great though, it's fun, I like it. We're eating a lot better, I can tell that the food is clean, super clean. Very simple ingredients, nothing fancy, nothing really processed. It's, you know, as you can see, butter's obviously processed, but butter is just cream and a little bit of salt. And vegetables are vegetables, the fish is the fish, the grain is the grain, so nothing is really highly processed. Whereas if you eat out, or certainly fast food, highly processed. Restaurants, who knows what kind of things they're using. They might be using, you know, not the best quality oils to cook, or certainly they're not using grass-fed butter. They're probably not using organic produce, unless it's an organic restaurant. So just little things like that. It's nice to be able to be in control of that when you're making your own meals. And at the end of the day, it's a heck of a lot cheaper than eating out all the time, especially if you're drinking, because, you know, that's where the margins are in alcohol, right? But that's okay. I do like to eat out. We eat out more than we should typically, but not for the last month or so. It's been over a month since we've eaten out. Hey Vanessa, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. So I usually talk about athletics too, some kind of workout, because I am a firm believer that you need to have that in your life on a daily basis, at least mostly daily basis, even if it's just a walk. You know, just a standard walk, half-hour walk with the dog or on your own. Getting some form of exercise and physical exertion during this time is really important. I think it's always really important. It's really, for me, it's therapeutic more than anything, although I like the benefits to my body too, my physical body, and then health, obviously. So I'm either riding, or I'm running, or maybe doing a little yoga. If I'm golfing, I'm walking on the golf course carrying my bag, so that's sort of a workout. So today, what did I do? I ran 4 miles. I've got a nice little path down here right from my house. I don't run very far, I don't run very fast. I'm just under a 10-minute pace right now, which is about all I can handle. I've had quite a few surgeries on my knee and feet, and, you know, I'm getting up there. So I'm just happy to be able to run 4 miles at a, you know, a decent pace. Not super fast, not super slow. So that's what I did today. A friend of mine, Dano, let me borrow his bike trainer. I'm checking on the fish. Oh, it's looking good. A bike trainer is this contraption that holds your back wheel. So it's my bike on the bike trainer, so I'm just riding it and changing gears, whatever I want to do. If I want to do a interval workout, if I want to do like a special workout or just a chill workout, and it's great. It's so amazing to be able to do this. Janice, let's just say your floor project required 2 days. Yeah, I saw your floor project, and I bet your knees are killing you. Mine certainly would be. I'm not very good at those kind of projects. I mean, some things, but yeah, I did. And your floor looks great, by the way. So the bike trainer is my bike on a trainer, so I did, you know, I'm usually doing 45 minutes to an hour workout on that. And I love it. I really didn't think I was going to like it because I like to ride outside, and I used to do spin at the gym but the gym closed. And I love to ride outside, but it was raining all last week, so that's why I wanted the trainer. And now I'm just like, I come in the morning, I'm drinking my coffee, I'm checking my email, I'm doing a little work, and I'm like, hop on the bike. I mean, I'm wearing, you know, like proper clothes, but hop on the bike so I can just kind of chill a little bit and still check my email and check the markets and do whatever I'm doing, but yet I'm getting a workout. Now, if I'm doing a real workout, like a full-on HIIT or high intensity or anything like that, I'm not going to be, hey, how are you? My son walked in now. Want to say hi? No. So if I'm doing a serious workout, I'm just doing a serious workout. There's no phone involved except for listening to music. I'm not, you know, if I'm taking a little break between intervals, I might check my phone, but no. It's really, it's intended as a workout. Okay, this is looking great. That is looking great. We're almost done. The Instapot pressure is gone. So let's check this out. Stuck. Okay, that looks really good too. So we're all ready pretty much.
Can I have the Xbox controller?
Can you what?
Can I have the Xbox controller?
Yeah, well, after dinner, we're almost ready to eat. Where'd you go for lunch? Where? home, plus an extra girl. The dog's home, the snake's home, the boy's home, the girl's home, and the friend is home. It's good to have everybody home. Okay, yes, this is looking amazing. I'm using my hot pad so I don't burn the heck out of my hand. Oh, I got a little pepper tasting. So yes, exercise, a little something every day, and try to keep a normal routine. I'm kind of an early to bed, early to rise person, so I'm usually in bed by 10. I've been going to bed a little later and getting up a little later, but I like to be down in my office by 6:30 usually, so I'm usually making that. Not all the time, but that's kind of my nature. And then I'm done working, you know, depending on what's going on. Today is 5 o'clock. We're dealing, you know, we're pretty much into the groove. You know, the kids luckily are older, so it's a little easier to deal with them. If I had little kids right now, that would be a challenge. And I empathize with any of you guys out there that have younger kids and have to work and manage the kids and do all that. You know, mine are kind of in and out. They can make themselves food, they can ask for money, they can go on bike rides, they can do whatever they do. So that is pretty much it. I think we're done. I'm going to turn that off of the heat. I'm going to bring the fish over here. The grains are done. So you see how this is really a fairly simple meal. It's, you know, I have that recipe, a little lemon zest. I have that recipe and I'm happy to share it, but usually I wouldn't even use a recipe. I would just do it by feel, throw it in the oven, broil it, and make a side dish like that, make a grain like that, and you've got pretty much all your food groups covered. Oh yeah, this looks amazing. Okay, hot pad. Yo, that is really hot, even with the hot pad. Turn this off. Okay, so I'll show you everything here. Actually, I'm gonna put this on here because again, I could see myself just grabbing that, trying to move it, and then burning myself. Not good. Okay, so over here, this is the Instapot. So that made some nice grains, made it super easy, super perfectly, cooks it. And then this is the saute of orange peppers and zucchini, just with salt and pepper. Very, very simple. And then this is the Lincod that I seared in butter, salt and pepper, and then I put a coating of fresh sourdough breadcrumbs, parmesan, a little lemon zest, lemon juice around all of it, and salt and pepper. And I just put that under the broiler for, I don't know what it was, 5-10 minutes, something like that, not 10 minutes. So that is pretty much it. Super easy weeknight meal, very healthy, should be very yummy. I'll report on that in a little bit. But thanks for joining me. I am gonna make some beef short ribs, maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday, maybe Saturday, but they're sitting there in the sink and that will be really good. That's one of my favorite meals too to make. Hope you're doing great. Have a nice day. Bye everybody. I think you're still on. You are. Well, I'll read these comments while I'm here. Ouch. Yes, Janice. Ouch. Scott Lang is watching too. Oh, and Patrick's here too. Want to say hi?
Hola, amigos.
With his Grateful Dead shirt on. All right, I'm actually going to finish now because now we're going to eat. Bye.